a central nervous system stimulant that has powerful effects on the body. It blocks adenosine receptors, preventing adenosine from binding and calming us down. As a result, caffeine promotes wakefulness and improves performance of passions in low doses. Caffeine is generally considered safe if the recommended consumption amounts are adhered to. The daily safe dosage of caffeine is up to 400 milligrams. High amounts of caffeine may have dangerous effects on the human body and may lead to irritability, overstimulation, insomnia, and in extreme cases, death.
Hello, I'm Yazal Dazif Kalu.
And I'm Wilne Ian Jesus Bernardino João.
Students from Birlik International School, Maputo, Mozambique, and we are here to talk about the
variation in caffeine concentration among different weight loss supplements containing green tea and green coffee extracts.
Many dietary supplements have caffeine as an active ingredient. Because they are supplements, they are not required by the FDA to state the concentration of caffeine they contain. The purpose of this study was to find the actual amount of caffeine in various supplements, specifically those that include green tea and green coffee extracts. We analyzed the dietary supplements, green tea and green coffee, by high-pressure liquid chromatography to compare the amounts of caffeine in each. In order to compare the caffeine content in dietary supplements to the content of green tea and green coffee, we tested samples of Costa Rica green coffee, Lipton green tea, and the dietary supplements using high-pressure liquid chromatography, and here are the results we found. These commercial tea and coffee products were chosen due to their accessibility and the fact that they are representative of green tea and green coffee drinks. We hypothesized that the dietary supplements containing green tea and green coffee extracts would have a higher amount of caffeine than the amount found in green tea and green coffee due to the more concentrated nature of the extracts.
We chose 4 different brands of green coffee-based supplements and 3 different brands of green tea-based supplements and tested based on affordability and accessibility. A one-way ANOVA test and a one-sample t-test showed significant differences between the expected levels of caffeine and actual caffeine amount found.
As methods, we used high-pressure liquid chromatography and made a standard curve, where 10 milligrams of caffeine powder was dissolved in 100 milliliters of water to create a 0.1 milligram per milliliter stock. The stock was then used to make 9 standards ranging from 2 microgram per milliliter to 100 microgram milliliter in water. The samples were injected onto the high-pressure liquid chromatography, and the peak area was plotted against the concentration to create a standard curve.
The content of the capsules was weighed separately and then combined before processing. The supplements were pumped into powder. Approximately 0.3 grams of the composite sample was weighed, then transferred to an air flask, and 30 milliliters of boiling body water was added. The flask was stored and placed in a hot water bath at 95 degrees Celsius with agitation for 20 minutes. 3 replicates were prepared for each sample. Once the solutions were stirred and cooled, they were filtered through a Whatman 41 filter paper. Each solution was then filtered and transferred to an HPLC vial using a syringe and 0.45 micromilliliters of syringe filter. As necessary, dilutions were made so that the peak areas were within the range of the standard curve. The samples were then injected onto the HPLC.
The total milligram caffeine per capsule was calculated using the following formula: peak area minus intercept over slope times dilution factor times 30 milliliters volume of extracts over 1000 microgram per gram times actual weight of 0.3 grams powder times the average weight of 1 capsule. This study was designed to evaluate the differences in caffeine concentration between dietary supplements containing coffee bean extract. This study was designed to evaluate the differences in caffeine concentration between dietary supplements containing coffee bean extracts, green tea, and green coffee. Green tea and green coffee were used as a basis for comparison because the extracts were not diluted and are as, if not more, concentrated than pure green tea and coffee. This helped us determine how much more concentrated the extract is.
The dietary supplements used in this study, as well as the corresponding results, were summarized in tables 2 and 3. The weight of each serving listed was used to calculate the milligrams caffeine amount found per serving.
Analysis showed that all pairs of supplements have significantly different amounts of caffeine except for the Merit's Meyer and Nature's Measure, Merit's Meyer and Swenson Grapeseed, and Nature's Measure and Swenson Grapeseed pairs.
With the countless number of weight loss supplements, it's very difficult to say which ones have too much caffeine and which ones are safe. In some cases, the difference between the expected levels of caffeine and the actual caffeine amount found was extremely significant, as shown in Figure 1. All considered, our recommendation is that adults take a maximum of 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is equivalent to 4 coffee cups. On the contrary, we recommend people under the age of 18 not to take coffee and green tea due to their high concentration of caffeine. Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.